It's update day, and we are here to discuss everything that was in today's update for EVE Online. I am CCP Monty. I am joined by CCP Karkur and CCP Okami. Welcome, guys.
Hey everybody,
Big
happy to be
day,
here. Yeah, huge day.
and we've got the notes and everything. Karkur, maybe start off just by telling us a little bit about these, because you brought these. They're precious ones, aren't they?
Yes, those cards here, they are from FanFest. We held a panel where we asked people to suggest some little things that would help with their quality of life and like everyday EVE life. And those are some of the post-its or cards that came from that. And all of those are in the release today. So it's coming directly from the players from FanFest.
Yeah, I love this. This is genuinely like this. I wish they put their names on there so we could give them a shout out. But like here, I have the show the max possible spool damage from Triglavian ships inside the fitting window. And I mean, I'll admit, when the Barbaroga first hit our test servers internally, I wanted this. I wanted to figure out how hard I could hit when it's fully spooled. May have gone and fitted one, and one of the hardest things I've ever done is logging out in the middle of a battle with a NPC Dread.
I think the answer is pretty high too, right? Like this might be max DPS in the game right now.
Yeah. Well, they're showing up high on damage kill boards at least.
That's right.
When those things are popping off. Now, so maybe if we talk a little bit about today's update and just the update cadence and plan in general. I mean, we have the Legion expansion just a few weeks ago, and this is sort of adding on to that.
Yeah, that's right. So, something we've been talking about at FanFest, I presented there a little bit, is just what our general update strategy is for EVE Online. So what we're having right now is a standard, typical post-release, what we call a post-release. So it's our first update after an expansion. So this is the Legion update. And in this, we usually try to do a bunch of little things. In most of our expansion or our updates, rather, we try to grab a bunch of little things, both from your forum post or from FanFest, and just make general quality of life improvements. We also add things like balance updates as well, and any number of just things. Like now that the expansion's out, we know what's chaotic, what's broken, what's good, what's not. So this is our first beat. And then this leads into the next one, which will be our major update in the fall.
So before we go into specific details, because we're going to just have a chat around most of the things that are coming out today. Is there a favorite subject from either one of you in this? I see you get a little bit of a smile when I say that.
Yes. One of my favorite comes from FanFest, but it kind of came from myself because I went to the... the LAN party, and there we were flying in a big fleet. We had everyone in our watch list, and this is the first time I've played in a big fleet since we increased the size of the watch list. So of course I just put everyone in the watch list, and then I was told to put some people at the top of the watch list. And when you have 50 people in the watch list, that's not easy to find. So I of course just try to drag the people from chat in there. But they would not. It did not work like that. It just works to drag them if they're not there. So that's my favorite thing. We changed it so, like now you can drag them into the watch list, into the position you want them, and they move in the watch list. They don't, even though they're already there. Like it sounds
so
like a small.
You got to feel the pain.
Yes, I felt the pain. I went straight and wrote it down, fixed it.
That's one of the beautiful things I've noticed being relatively new here, even though I played the game since pretty much a child. But it is the fact that the developers are playing the game that give these kind of pointers, and it shows in so many ways when you look at the depth of, for example, just quality of life things that have been added. I mean, sure, there's loads of things that we can discuss, and we probably have way more of these that would be small quality of life changes that we want to do and are coming. But stuff like that, exactly that it's beautiful. And I can't wait to be able to track somebody directly in there. That's I'll admit, I've been frustrated with the whole fleet setup thingy a few times.
You should write some forum posts.
I should.
Yes.
I should. I probably got banned pretty quick.
Come complain to us.
Yeah, I don't need another character banned. So what about you, Okami?
Yeah, I kind of have two, but I'm gonna go with the mining changes. We've got some mining balance updates. I've promised since March to be following up on mining balance. The MPI ICU has been out of whack for a long time, and it's trending. It's in a much healthier place, but there's still some struggles there. So relatively small changes, but I think that they're changes that will be felt really well by the overall ecosystem.
Yeah, makes sense. If we start just to jump into the patch itself, some of the major updates that are coming content-wise, Sarsak is one discussion. Pochwen is another one. It's these scary places. So if we kick off with Pochwen, what's happening in Pochwen?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not going to go into every single update here.
Yeah, it could be its own show.
We could literally have our own show. But Pochwen is getting some significant updates to its content and balancing. I think that you folks will be really excited to check this out. This has been a CCP Rampage and Drake high five, I think. They've been really working super well together. And largely this is going to be around stuff like supporting smaller gangs in Pochwen. Yes, exactly. Yes. Making the content work a little bit better. We're like rebalancing most of the smaller sites, so that's something that you can expect, both in terms of like the enemies, the combat difficulty, and the rewards of those sites.
So we're kind of looking at it becoming a bit more lucrative for people to go in there, and there's yield to be had, but that brings dangers. Likely.
that brings dangers. I think it will be more lucrative to some people, but we're also distributing that wealth a little bit differently, just so that it does feel like you're going to have more life in Pochwen. You're going to have less people just grouping up in bigger gangs and stuff like that, but more people spreading out in different areas and in smaller gangs. So that's really sort of one of our design goals with a lot of these changes. And hopefully, we'll see some of that. And as always, so, with game balance changes and content changes like this, like, please come to us with your feedback, and we'll be just watching how things go. And I'm really excited to see how Pochwen gets shaken up.
Yeah, one of the things that I spotted immediately that kind of just talks to my playstyle in EVE Online was, for example, the filament trace changes. There's loads of these opportunities for escalations as such that are being kind of pulled forward, and just with Pochwen being a hotspot, I mean, let's face it, it's a beautiful part of the whole game. Just being in there, being jumping system to system.
Yep,
it looks so cool. So just the fact that we are pushing people to go there is, I think, a very good thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, you just mentioned it. That is one of the other changes is we recently changed how filaments worked a little bit to up the ante and the danger. And we found that didn't quite have the impact we wanted. So we are changing increasing the signature radius of filament spool up so that they're a little easier to scan down and find targets in Pochwen. So danger, beware.
Talking about danger, Sarsak and pirates. You can now enlist in Sarsak.
Yes. Previously, if you were in Sarsak, you would have to move to a system where where the Angels and the Choristas had offices, but now you can enlist directly from Sarsak.
Is it normal that pirates have offices? Just when I think about it.
I mean, they're corporations in EVE Online, so they've got to have an office and probably a manager and maybe some janitors or something. Somewhere, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're big orcs.
Yeah.
They design cool ships.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find most interesting when it comes to this update is the Sovereignity Hub Hacking. Which one of you wants to jump on this one?
The which hub hacking?
The Sovereignty Hub Hacking.
The Sovereignty Hub Hacking.
I know what he's talking about.
I don't even know. You tell me.
So previously you were able to hack structures and you could get their timers. Now that's also coming to Sov hubs, so you can hack them and see what upgrades are in there and what their state is.
Right. Oh, I see.
Yes.
So I'm used to Sov hubs. Just make it simple for us. Sov
Sov
hubs.
hubs. Yeah. And probably everybody that's watching as well.
I mean, this is actually a really cool one. I think there's been a lot of folks who have reached out to me about like, hey, Okami, if I like go and look at the exterior of a Sov hub, can I like tell what's installed on that?
What the fit is, basically.
And you can kind of, there's been some bugs and issues, and I think this is just a way simpler solution to that. So now you can go hack a Sov hub, see what's installed and what's online, and get some intel if you're going to go raid someone's system, which I think you should do, by the way. Please go raid someone's system.
I really think this is going to be something that will expand over time, be there with even more updates to how this happens. But intel is obviously one of the most important things in any form of warfare. And when it comes to just knowing what could be flicked on in the system or something like that to counter counter the enemies that are coming in or counter the upgrades and such that are already implemented. The role of a kind of ninja-like hacker going in there to get the data. There's some Ocean's 11 stuff there that I'm kind of liking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Factional warfare, adding the Scout ADV-1 Plex for it.
You got this one?
I
got this one. So there are some newer Plex sites in factional warfare. They are meant to be for smaller groups or individuals, kind of oriented towards encouraging like 1v1s and almost dueling in faction warfare. So yeah, just new FW content.
Yep. FW is running pretty hot. There's a lot of stuff going on around it. So,
Always.
new stuff and just additions to it is definitely something that people are going to be looking forward to. Now, if we go maybe a little bit into more quality of life things, one of the things that we've been requesting quite a lot, the Skyhook vulnerability window visibility.
Sure, I mean, do you want to talk about this one?
Feel free.
Okay. Skyhook's friends, I know they've been a hot topic for a long time, and it is something that we're always like thinking about, just making how do we make raiding more appealing and accessible. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just like inform you when things are going to be raidable. So currently, you could have in the past see them as like when they are raidable, but now you'll see them 2 hours in advance, so you have time to like get your homies together and go like plan a raid expedition, etc. So this has been a hotly requested update for a while. So hope it plays out. Hope to see those Skyhooks getting hit by some gangs out in space.
Yeah. Sounds like something that will definitely be of, well, it's quality of life to some, I guess.
Is it something you're going to do?
Raid Skyhooks?
Yeah.
I don't give up my secrets.
I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
Find me after.
I want to know where your
Find me
Skyhook
after.
is.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done it though personally, but I have responded to quite a few Skyhook raids because they are usually really fun fights. Actually.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's pretty small gangs.
Good sizes.
Good sizes, usually pretty well fitted, and a very high chance of a proper escalation. Let's put it that way. Because you usually have the wormhole or something like that close with that, they're coming through or such, which just gives it a lot of dynamic.
Yeah.
So even though I have absolutely no interest of what is happening inside the Skyhook or what's who owns it or why it's there or who's benefiting from, yes, that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
So me and you are not the same when it comes to that, and maybe that's a good segment over to the mining changes or the mineral changes.
From pirates to pyrite.
I would not say, well, okay, for that amazing segue, I will accept. But
let's go. Yeah, so just as I mentioned up front, it's something I've been talking about on Discord. We have some changes coming to pyrite refinement rates. Since the big upswing of the MPI, pyrite has still been a bit of an issue. There's just not enough availability of it in the universe. So we are going to be hitting scordite and mordunium refinement rates, which should be increasing by 5 to 10% as of today. So if you've been holding on to your scordite, you are in good fortune today.
Morphite is also a discussion point.
Yeah, that's right. I think in the past, we've gotten a lot of feedback. Like Morphite was an issue, was a big part of the MPI struggle that we were having. And we a little bit overcorrected in LSEC, so we'll be reducing Morphite rates as well. So hopefully that will curb the lower price. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And we want to keep all of these things in check and in balance. And if this doesn't shake up or Pirate doesn't go far enough, then we've got the major update next to kind of address some of these issues. So as with a lot of these things, I don't think one big hammer is going to change or fix it all, but I imagine things will head in the right direction, and then we'll keep poking where we need to.
I've got a few things listed up here from this this whole update, fixes and adjustments. And if we were just run through a couple of them, insurgency corruption spread threshold, moving from, starting at level 4, was at level 3. Some discussed there, isn't it pretty self-explanatory?
Yeah, do you have anything to add for this one?
I have nothing to add for that.
I have nothing to add either. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Same with the pirate militia standing requirement update, where now you can the requirement has been raised from -2 to a 0. And one of the things that I know that a lot of people have been complaining about, and I do believe that we have tickets, more than one about it, was the war declaration system fixes.
Oh yeah, there's been some pretty bad war deck loopholes that we've known about and have been increasingly sort of raised to us. Is that something you worked on?
I did not work on that.
You did not
but
work on that. Oh, do you know about that?
I heard talk about it around me, but I just know that there were some loopholes, like you said.
I just get war decked every day, and I don't ever find them to fight them. So it's a shame.
Right.
I think you're doing something wrong if everyone hates you.
Probably. Undock.
Yeah, so there's two main changes that we made here. The first is you can't declare a structure that is already reinforced or damaged as a war headquarters. So that's closing one of the loopholes and exploits that kind of has been happening. And then the second change is when a war deck corp makes an alliance, the allies follow the new war created by the corporation. So both of these things have been kind of misused in the past little while, and we've been watching, and so we're hoping that these changes lead to better wars.
Yeah. And closes loopholes that were causing annoyance for players, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sovereignty escalation durations for mining and combat escalations have been increased from 6 hours to 24 hours. Again, something that's pretty straight.
Well, that's actually a pretty big one, I think.
It's a big one, but it's pretty straightforward.
It's straightforward. Well, I just want to highlight it because I know a lot of people have been asking for the mining escalations to have their time increased. It's 24 hours now, which is awesome. Please, I hope you think it's awesome. It is awesome. That's just been a hotly requested one, so I just want to make it super clear to folks.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
You want to make everybody know that you hear and
we hear, we listen,
we listen,
we bring.
Yeah, we've got your tickets. We've got them here. This is delete expired contracts.
That's
yes,
actually that's a very frequently requested thing.
There are quite a few things that are frequently requested that are sometimes ironically difficult to solve.
Yes, that is true.
I have, since the day I joined, walked around and asked these questions, getting a face that I cannot explain back at me, which is never talk to me again. I know. Continuing with like the fixes and the quality of life improvements, we mentioned the fleet management part earlier, and there's one thing that caught my eye in the patch notes, which I just loved, and that is split make boss and kick into separate options?
They were always separate options, but we just made them different colors.
Yeah, they're a little bit more.
Yeah, they're next to each other.
So not accidentally doing.
Yes,
it's like a UX thing, right?
Yes, and we the ticket we had was the request was to add a confirmation for the boss, because if you want to kick someone, you definitely do not want to make them boss.
There's a story behind that. It's every sign has a story.
Yes.
There's a story there that we need to find. What happened when somebody was made boss that was not supposed to be made boss?
Yes, that's the worst.
I can't imagine actually what happened, but.
So we both changed the kick from being what we call rage quit option to being a destructive, which means that it just is yellow, I think, and the make boss is the more serious one, and that's now has confirmation to make sure you're not just assigning a boss to someone you did not mean to assign it to.
Yep. Next up, we're actually talking about the contracts, and the market as well. So now the idea is that you can now import from clipboard for a multi-cell kind of function.
Yes. Do you want to explain that?
Go ahead.
Yes. So basically, if you're selling a lot of stuff, let's say you have a lot of Veldspar in Cheetah and you want to sell it, and you know what price you want for it. Now, instead of going, let's say you have multiple stacks and just a bunch of stuff. So you can just copy from Excel or wherever you have your data and just say what price you want, and then you paste it in, and it just replaces the prices for all of those items in the sell window.
So we're basically saying your professional on-the-site inventory management now is, you can set it up in a way that you can copy-paste it into game. This is going to save hours. This might break the market just in the fact that there will be so many sell orders. Maybe there was no shortage of minerals. It was just people took too long to get them into the market.
Finally, unload all that scordite.
Sounds a little bit like Hilmar's famous story of when he realized the Jettison can and people mining into it was breaking the content of the game.
Yeah.
Also, like we mentioned here earlier, contract deletion. That's another thing. Mass contract deletion.
Yes. I think that's pretty
Is that one of these?
Yes, I think there are actually three of those there.
Okay.
Ability to paste prices for sell. It's here.
Yes, this is...
When seeding 100 plus items for the first time, it's NX3 actions to update the price for them all. Let me paste from the clipboard.
So we did, yeah.
You can. No name, but you were number 70.
Yes.
So that's good. Now, the Sov UI also is getting a polish. Both the POS, reinforcement timers are now visible. Skyhook and Sov Hub interactions, are added. You can select items in there to get more information. And now, on top of that, there is now an update to the compare tool or preview to that. Either one care to dive that a little bit?
I do not know much details about that.
Okay, I've tried it.
Yes.
So basically there's just quite a bit of updates coming to the compare tool, something that I, for example, use a lot. And as useful as it is, there are quite a few things that could be, better. So it's something that's just an ongoing polish or work, I believe, to continue on with that.
Is it released in preview mode? Is it...
It's marked as a preview, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So you might need to opt into it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, but we, of course, would love to hear feedback from people.
Yeah.
If there are improvements that need to be made, then go to the forums and let us know.
Yeah, go to the forums. Always go to the forums. If we look a little bit up on what's coming, we have a few things that we want to talk about. Number one, freelance job deliver item.
Oh yeah.
I'll admit that when this first got floated post update, I found it pretty obvious and ironic that we did not have the option. I do know that there are reasons for it, but I don't want to give you the ability to explain them. It's just this will be coming.
It's coming. It's coming soon. Do you have the date on hand?
No, I don't have the date for that.
I'm going to say it is coming this summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to let everybody know, because I know this is a hot one. It is hugely desired. It just makes sense. I saw a video of it recently, and it is slick. Actually, we've made some, I think, overall improvements to it as well. So hold on to the edge of your seat. It's coming, and it'll be good.
And on the freelance jobs, more things being added, and this is obviously something that's going to evolve, and especially just with more and more player interaction, how people are using it. But we're already seeing so many innovative ways of actually using the freelance jobs to, recruit. I loved somebody had an SRP for just wasn't it Minmatar miners or something like that, and there's all these kinds of things. This is something like. From there that either of you want to mention, because I've just loved reading about cool ideas there.
I've seen a lot of interesting feedback around freelance jobs. Like not everybody understands or gets it or is using it, and that's okay. But I think for the people who do, it's really become like a social tool in a lot of ways. It's like, hey, I can create a piece of content that lets other people interact with me and see me also in asynchronous ways. So like when I'm offline, they can be interacting with something I created. So in that, we're seeing like people write stories. Like I've seen interesting stories made. I've seen traps be set. Like I've got caught in a trap in like one of the first days because I was like,
wait, tell us a little bit about that.
It was just like some simple mining job. Like, hey, come on over here and mine in this site. And I'm like, yeah, sketchy, low sec, but I'm going to try. You know what? I'm going to just try. Let's see. And I totally got jumped on the gate by the same corporation who made the job. So that's on me. And kudos to them. I don't think I can say their name on stream either, but it was an interesting name.
Okami bringing the content.
Yeah exactly.
Right. I think we've covered most of the kind of core topics that we've had. Is there something that... from the small stuff that we want to cover more?
Yeah, look at all these cards that are out here. Do you want to maybe pick through a couple of these and talk about some of these other small things that are coming from our players?
Yeah. So the location window sorting and folders. So we have added like a search field in the location window, and also which is on some other cards here, we have made sure that the location window no longer eats the shortcuts, so you can use the shortcuts even though you have the location window, like you're warping somewhere, and then you can use the warping somewhere from the location window, you can use the shortcut right after that, even though the focus is in the location window. And that is, it sounds like a small thing, but it's really not.
Yeah, but it's quality of life for players. One funny thing about this, I don't know if we have it, but the picture that was taken, I believe it went on our socials, where our Kanban couch was there. The only issue I see about using a couch for this is the limited number of seats available.
Yep. Yeah, that's
wow,
true.
I didn't even get a laugh for the worst but that joke of the year. But this is literally just in our headquarters here in Reykjavik.
Yes.
And devs interacting with it on a daily basis, pulling from it, like, okay, is this something that we can move into? Obviously, there were some that probably are not even, we should not even read out loud. They are somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. We measure the success of how many little things we can get done in ass loads. How many ass loads?
Yeah.
This is about 2 ass loads of little things we got in here.
But they were all like taking a picture of them. We moved them into
onto
a computer.
You try.
Yes. So that's what we have the numbers
As
here.
a producer, we do not want to confirm that the couch is the actual board. No. But one thing that gives it up, if we go back to the couch, the fact that there's a Nerf bat sitting behind it.
Oh, yes.
Is it a Nerf bat?
It is a Nerf bat.
Okay, yeah.
It's literally. Have you never seen a Nerf bat? It's very obviously a nerf pet.
Obviously.
All right. So, quick overview of everything that's no, not everything, but some of the key points coming in that came in today's expansion, or update, I should say, to the expansion. More things coming. There's constant updates, constant modifications, and small things, not so little things maybe, coming in, and we can expect a second update sometime before the next major expansion or such.
Yeah, that's right.
So hopefully you enjoyed just taking a little bit of a walk through this. Thank you both for taking the time out of your busy schedule of moving couches of stuff into the client.
Can I add one thing?
Of course you can.
If people have their own suggestions for little things, please go to the forums and post them there.
Is it like a specific place that they should post them?
So it is in the feature and ideas, I think it's called.
Yep.
And there's a forum post from myself there that's called, I think, Little Things, Quality of Life or something like that.
Yeah.
We can probably post a link to that.
Yeah.
And for example, all of those came from there. So there's a lot of things that come from there, not just FanFest. So please go there.
Essentially, most quality of life updates, they start with the player reaching out and telling us in one way or another.
And it's great in the forum thread if they keep the same format, because then it makes it easy for us to see like what are they asking for and why. Because sometimes people ask for something and but when you read the description, you're like, oh, that's why they're asking. Maybe we take a step back and do it differently, but we want to address what they're like,
the issue.
Their issue.
Yeah. And one of the most interesting and fun things to do, for example, at FanFest, is the panel on little things, because it's just it's so nice, literally being able to somehow just make people's lives a little bit easier or more fluid, or you know,
it's so engaging too, right? Like just the interactivity and the fact that like I'm holding stuff from FanFest that people requested. Like this is someone's writing that I can barely read, by the way.
I know.
but this person's got quite nice writing.
Yes.
But
those are now in game.
They're in game now. This is so cool. So thank you for attending that. Awesome to participate. But that was such a great panel.
Absolutely. Now there's loads more in the full patch notes now available on the EVE Online website and all over the place. But first and foremost, just get in game, undock, have fun, test this stuff out, and give us your feedback. Thanks again for your time, and we'll see you next time.